Welcome, everyone, to our inspiring IAPC&M author series, which you can find on our blog and which also complements our book review club, which has been a great success. And who knows, maybe one day you'll feature on there too. Now, if you are a practitioner who has had the topic of writing a book on your to-do list for a long time, and you have loads of reasons why you should, and people tell you, but you are still struggling, you're still in the dream stage, that's exactly my point, then you are in the right place here, because here we get to speak to those who have actually seen it through the entire process and are part of the famous 3% club. The rest of us are still in the other percentages, the 97 who haven't actually got it out. So we are very lucky to have with us today accredited master coach, IAPC&M, of course, HR consultant, leadership development specialist, and of course, author Fahad Khalaf, who has just published We Got Leadership Wrong. So congratulations to you, Fahad. My name is Julie Kennedy. I will be your host during the next 20-30 minutes. And I'm just very curious, Fahad. First of all, why did you want to write a book?
Thank you very much, Julie. I think it was such an outstanding introduction, I would say. I would be humble, not to congrats for that. And I think the beginning of, there are many reasons basically triggered me to write a book. And I think one of them is to voice my thoughts. Somehow it's kind of very difficult to get into, probably might be a public speaking, might be conferences, might be get invited as a subject matter expert or sharing your thoughts. And I think one of the things and ideas that you can really share your thoughts by writing a book. And you can always keep writing a book by chapter 1, or not chapter 1, version 1, version 2, version 3. And it's surprisingly, after I published the book, by a week, new ideas and research came up that I wish I could include it. And right now I'm including it into the version number 2 or batch number 2 that I'm doing it. So it's one of the things is to voice your thoughts, especially when in case you don't have a time, you don't have the opportunity, probably you don't have the financial aspect, or for many reasons. It's one of the things that you can voice your thoughts. Second thing, that's we call it position of authority, that you are in a position that you have something that accredited, that is in an authority position, that you can go ahead and, yes, I have something published, it's not only theory in my head, but it's also documented. It's also, there is feedback from a lot of people. These are one of the things. So these are the two major things. And I think the third one is, beside of voicing my thoughts, that comes to trying to educate people about what's really going on, or try to at least make my information available to the public, not only like a closed group. Right. So these are the main three, I would say, reasons.
And these make total sense. I mean, what you've just said is, it really sums it up, really. I mean, it is that. I mean, it is a way to voice your thoughts. And I think in a way, even to crystallize your thoughts, right? It really forces you to really deep down to, okay, what exactly is it that I'm saying, and not just a lot of fluff. The position of authority, I hear a lot, nowadays, it really is a business card. It's giving you credibility. It's putting you in a different league, right? If you're worthy of being published, then that means that what you've got to say is of importance. And indeed, I think it's often is through a mission, right? It's a mission that keeps us going. Now, I also very much liked what you said right from the beginning, the version 1 and version 2, because I think what holds a lot of us back is maybe that we keep thinking, oh, but, it's not finished, or, nowadays, especially if you're talking about research, I mean, it's almost every week that there's something new, but that shouldn't be a reason to stop us from doing it, right? You can also do a version 2, version 3.
Yes, exactly. It's 100%. I think, as you mentioned a good point. Like there will always be something new will come up, either to support or either somehow create a debatable aspects about your thoughts. So there is something that I always hear about it. I'm just waiting for the right time.
Right.
The right time will never come. The right time has to be created, and the right time maybe could be now. You have to create it, and there is the better time, and there's the best time, and there's the outstanding time, and the list goes on. So there will never be the right time. The right time has to be created immediately. And I think for me, like, to be honest, it took me around 3 years loose to write this book, even though it's like 228 pages. What if we're going to go with the paperback and somehow 208 pages with Kindle? It's available for as a free subscription for Kindle subscriptions. Um,
Okay.
and I took my time writing it, especially when we are talking about something that somehow consider psychological aspects more than just a fixed science. I'm taking my sweet time within the 3 years. Maybe sometimes I take a month writing maybe one page or one thought, then I come after another month or another 2 weeks writing something. I took my sweet time, but then in the last 6 months before publishing my book, I took it super serious and I was scaling. Like almost every week I was writing at least 2 to 5 pages.
Now that's also a very important point, because how did you keep yourself going? I mean, did you give yourself a deadline? Were you doing this entirely on your own, or did you have somebody who was holding you accountable?
No, it was purely self-published. That
Wow.
from my side, from A to Z, self-published in terms of writing thoughts. Yes, I do I hired at the end of the term two, we call them proof writing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
crossover, that is very simple. And trust me, people will say, probably you need a huge money to publish a book. It took me less than, I would assume, $600 to $700. And the whole thing, it was because I was paying the proof English reading and English writer 2 times. I was crossovering or somehow cross-checking the whole contents with each other. And then we have the formatting aspects. Then we have the book covering design.
Yes.
So that is the whole thing. But in actual, I did not hire a ghostwriter. I did not hire anything else. Any research that I need to do, I go and I do the full analysis and research, and the list goes on.
Yeah, because there was a lot of research as well, wasn't there, involved in your book?
Exactly. There's a lot of research. And I mentioned in the beginning of at the end of the day, like at the end of the whole chapter, that this is purely based on my experience and observation and research and involvement into the certain project and my certain kind of observation across the whole industry or specific industries that I was working on. So I think these are one of the things to keep in mind, because look, today I can prove everything about whatever I'm talking about the book. After publishing the book, there might be another research might be debunk everything that I was doing it. So at the end of the day, like, we need to create the right time. Just voice it over, even if it's 100 pages. Like my book is so small, by the way. It's like only 228 pages, which is almost small kind of, it is very, very easy to read at the end of the day. And I believe you could finish it within 6 to 8 hours. So
right. And so what was your purpose with the book? I mean, okay, you wanted to be heard and position of authority, etc. But in the choice of this title and this particular book, what was it that you said you wanted to educate? What was it that you wanted to share?
Exactly. Great question. I think, first of all, what the whole aspect triggers me off is I'm somehow fascinated about the cost and effect concept. Which is, for every action, there is an equal reaction. And because I had attended a lot of leadership programs and getting involved in a lot of leadership development trainings, leadership development coaching and mentoring, leadership development methodologies, and all these kind of tools, I believe we are getting something wrong. And this is what's really happening when someone is getting sick, is we're trying to solve the symptom, not the actual cause. And that's what's really happening in leadership, is where they're trying to give you all the tools, all the details, all the structure, all the methodologies, all everything, but they miss the main point, which is personality, character, skills, behaviors, and all aspects of a human behavior.
Right.
And it's at the end of the day, it's exactly the same thing when I developed my employee engagement program. And one of the same aspect is, we're trying to, if we want to make people more productive, is we make them happy. How do we make them happy? Is by giving them money. Okay, giving them money, but you have an awful working environment. then you're only
Not going to be
temporary,
happy, are
just
you? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's only a painkiller at the end of the day. So the same thing, whatever tools you're giving to people, they will go to work and try to practice their leadership. At the end of the day, it's like a painkiller. They will do it for a certain level of certain period of time. At the end of the day, they will go back to their nature comfort zone as a personality and a human behavior. So
Right.
for us, we need to level up the personal aspects, which we called it built in as a leader. Then the effect of being a good leadership personality will also impact the business and the people around you. So that is the main concept. And the thing this, people think that I did not try. I tried a lot talking to a lot of people, and I tried a lot even delivering a lot of training programs. Until today, I'm delivering training programs, and I deliver these training programs based on my methodology. But you know, one of the things that always people ask me is, we need leadership development based on this methodology or based on this theory, based on this. And I told them, guys, I can't teach you something that I'm totally not convinced about it, and it's debunking.
And I guess
Either I
this
will
is what
teach you.
gave you the motivation, right? Then it's that you really had something different to say, let's say, because I mean, I want to talk also about the things which stop us from writing books, which tend to often be self-doubt. Oh, everybody else already knows this. Who are they to listen to me? And that's without talking about how do I structure? Where do I start? Do I even know how to write? I mean, what obstacles did you have, would you say, in writing your book?
A couple of obstacles, but it might be different from from an individual to another. I would say from my side, I don't have enough time because I'm handling a couple of projects as a consultant, as a head of HR projects, and also as subject matter expert, a couple of topics. So I'm kind of hands-on on-site projects. So I'm very limited in time. I only have a time during the weekends or whatever I have time during the day for a couple of hours, and I do it. Or sometimes I have to skip things and focus on something. That's one of the things I believe is because I'm overwhelmed with a lot of things. There
So
might
how
be a
did
lot
you
of
stay
people.
focused? How did you make sure? I mean, you explained that you did it at different speeds at different moments, right? That sometimes you only wrote one page, and then in the last 6 months, you really, got it into the fifth gear or sixth gear and zoomed on forwards. But how did you stay motivated? How did you prevent it from just not becoming, like it is for most of us, something that we think about when we do have time, and as soon as we're busy, it sort of falls off the table?
Yeah, I think one of the main thing that really kept me focused is, especially in the last 6 months, because it took me 3 years to from a start to the end, and I was somehow lost focus between the first, let's say, 2 years and a half. But in the last 6 months, I start seeing a lot of huge, or I would say incorrect drive about leadership. Everyone was talking about leadership. Everyone, a huge training programs were going on and trying to create these ones. Yes, we are the best in leadership. And look, with my full due of respect, they are right, but they are right in their own concept and understanding and philosophy. I have my own philosophy and I'm right. So it doesn't make sense at the end of the day. So then at the last 6 months, I said, you know something, I have to make these stuff done, and I have to publish it at least before the end of the year, which last
Okay, so
year.
you
Then it
gave
got
yourself then a
postponed.
hard deadline, and you were
Yeah,
motivated by the fact that you were fed up with what you were hearing other people say, right?
exactly. And
And
and,
that's a
and
good
I was
one.
fed up from not people from people not trying to understand my at least point of view, I
Yeah.
would say. So even though I gave my myself like at the end of December, but it got postponed till March, so 3 months for some reason, because then the proof editing got a little bit
Yeah.
late. Then it got the design got a little bit late, then the cover, then my picturing and all this stuff got a little bit late. And being late sometimes is good because I launched it in my birthday. So that's
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Yeah, and I
that's
suppose
one of
that
the
it's great to have a deadline, but it doesn't make sense to push it through if it's not completely done, right? I mean, at some point, if you've invested that much time and effort, if it's going to be another 3 months to get it exactly like you want it, then great. So, I mean, you were talking also about financing. So you went the self-publishing route. And I mean, how did you do that? Did you just look up how does one self-publish a book, or?
I was doing a research in Google, and I was doing general ideas about anything. And I think right now we have all the necessary tools that I don't say we don't need a publishing company or publishing agency, but at the end of the day, there is a way that you can start without the publishing, because at the end of the day, they might ask for royalty and you might not like it, 70, 30, 20, 10, or all these stuff. And all it depends. And at sometimes they might ask 50-50 and all these stuff. So from my side, I look into the internet and try to see how to publish it. At the end of the day, we have an Amazon. And Amazon is a great, wonderful tool. You get your book verified within 3 days and it's available for everyone. And everything is good as much as within the format and as per the terms of condition. So I was looking into it and I couldn't see that much of a huge debate to go ahead and start it, because I spoke to a couple of agencies and some of them, they said, you have to, at least in the beginning, you have to contribute for X number of $thousands to start with. Then the remaining, whatever we will be selling, that we will refund you and we will give you royalty. And I said, something, and at the end of the day, I don't want to get restricted by any publishing. I want to voice my thoughts, regardless if it might be right or wrong, or it might be debatable and all this stuff. So I think one of the things is very easy. I just start writing the whole thing in Word. Once I'm done, it's very easy. Then you send it to, there is a lot of people available on the web and the internet. One of them, for example, there's a platform called Fiverr. You can hire someone for $100. They will reformat your whole book for 40, 50,000 words for just $100, or any somehow an amount. I'm just giving an approximate, because some people you might fee $50, some of them $200, somehow in between. So they did it within 3-5 days. You get your book and then you self-publish everything. So it's such easy process as you are trying to attach and upload an email or a presentation or anything else. So it's not a big deal. And Amazon.
And this was your first book, right?
Yes, that's my
so I mean, so at least, and I mean, you've made it sound at least that it's easy, an easy way forward. When did your book come out?
I believe it was on my birthday, so it's March 6th.
So just
like 2 weeks back.
Wow. So how does it feel?
It was good. As soon as I started launching the book, I got a couple of good calls, a couple of meetings and private, kind of events, participating and trying to understand, because it's the title of the book is kind of sketchy. A lot of people ask me, what's wrong with the leadership? What's going on? And I think one of the things that I really wanted to have something kind of eye-catching and interesting.
Do you have a copy there to hold it up?
No, I don't have it. Still, I order around 20 pieces from a publishing company, and I will get them. And as soon as I get them, that's going to be done.
Exciting. I can imagine it must be so exciting. And so how do you intend using it for your business? Are you going to sell it? Are you going to give it? How are you going to use it?
Writing a book for me is like sharing my thoughts as the beginning. It also could be as a funnel for bringing more business. A lot of people will read it, they might contact me and they said, let's start and do business. And this business could be in a different form, could be in a training program, or it could be in a coaching and mentoring, and also could be as consultation aspects in terms of how to create succession planning, how to create a talent management programs, and the list goes on. So it's kind of using it as a tool also, to build a funnel to the business that I'm looking for.
Yeah, and it certainly places you as an expert in the topic, in the field as well. So if I were to ask you for 3 tips for budding authors who are still, coming up with 8,000 excuses why we haven't actually got it out there, what would you say?
I would really genuinely tell them, guys, start, publish at least, even if you have 100 pages, by the way, my book is not A4, it's even A5, which is, it's very small, a book, you can keep it in your purse or anywhere else. And so you can start even by 100 pages, you can start by 200 pages. You can start with anything. You don't need to have a chapters. You also, as a disclaimer, if you don't have a research and anything to back up any of your thoughts, mention a disclaimer that is purely based on your thoughts, understanding, and everything. At the end of the day, people will judge you if you don't disclaim anything, at the end of the day. So just to start, just publish, let people know that you achieved something, or there is a milestone that you had achieved beside of anything else. As we always say, if you graduate from a university or a school, it is an indicator that you are a committed person, that you are also will be committed during workforce or at work. So the same thing here right now is people, if they want to hire you as a trainer, as consultant, as a subject matter expert, as any kind of a role or a title, at the end of the day, they know that there's a commitment and things you did. Everyone is in HR. Everyone is a presenter. Everyone right now these days, unfortunately, they call themselves coaches, and very rare they have accreditation coaching. And within the accredited coaches, there are very also 3% who wrote a book. So always we try to give that kind of an indicator that you are the committed from the committed ones.
Right.
So kind of the
it
goals
rises you up. Yeah, exactly. It gives an idea of who you are and what you do. And so remind the title to the audience and where they can get hold of this book.
They can go to Amazon, and the book called We Got Leadership Wrong. We
Got Leadership Wrong, and it's on Amazon. So in Kindle format, I heard, and also as a hard copy.
Yes, in Kindle format is for free, and in for paperback is like $8, something like that. I made it cheap. I made it cheap to be affordable to everyone to read it, and at least to have an idea. It's not the ultimate guide, but it's the first step of correction, I could say.
Exactly. And that's it. And that's also a very good mindset, I think, to get a book out there is we've got to start somewhere, and that, as you say, we change also, society changes. Every day there's something new. Our vision is different. We might see it in a different aspect, but that doesn't mean you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait, because it will continue to change. So at some point you have a message and get it out there. Thank you very much, Fahad. I wish you a lot of luck with this brand new baby. Good luck with the promotion. Good luck. I hope it brings you everything that you need. At least, as you say, you have already, just by writing it and getting it out there, publishing it, you have already put yourself way ahead of the great majority of people. So well done for that. Thank you for inspiring us today. For the rest of you out there, see, Fahad did it. We can do it too. So take note of what he's shared with us here today, and maybe I'll interview you next time on the book. Good luck, Fahad, and thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much for your time, Julie. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.